hey fellow human beings, I actually had some time today and so I sat down here in my comfy chair to do a couple of writing sort of vlogs for you. Is it vlogs or is it vlogs? I've always pronounced it vlogs. I'm not gonna stop. So our first vlog today is one that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is how to write an asexual character. Okay, so first let's define asexuality. Asexuality, when it applies to humans, not say plants or single-celled organisms, means that you do not experience sexual attraction. It's literally that simple. So what are the reasons that a character you're writing should be asexual? Reason number one, you want to write a complex, well-rounded character who also happens to not experience sexual attraction. That's it. Reasons your character should not be asexual. This list is going to be a little bit longer. 1. They're young. As in they're too young to have really experienced sexual attraction yet. That's not being asexual, that's called being young. 2. They are celibate. Celibacy and asexuality are two different things. Celibacy is a choice, asexuality is a sexuality, like being gay, bi, etc. 3. They are damaged, as in some abuse has happened to them in the past and now they don't want to have sex anymore. That's not the same thing as asexuality. That usually is a form of celibacy if it happened, and it's also kind of insulting to asexuals. It's like saying that gay guy is only gay because he was molested as a child. 4. They're female. I don't know why, but there's this thought floating around the ether that asexuals are women, and that's not true. There are lots of asexual men, so just throw that notion right out the window. 5. They just haven't found the right one. They're just not sexually attracted until they find the right guy. That's not being asexual. That's like saying that gay guy would no longer be gay if he just found a woman he wanted to have sex with. He just has to look hard enough. 6. 6? 6. We're gonna call this 6. They're an alien or a strange other race, like a ghost or something. Now this one is a little bit wibbly-wobbly, because I personally think that you could get away with aliens sometimes, like the Solarians in the Mass Effect series. They are pretty much asexual because of the way that they reproduce. They do not really, as a species, experience sexual attraction. Now I'm sure some do, because there are always those within the species who are different. But in general, they do not experience sexual attraction because of the way that they reproduce. And I don't really have a problem with that. But you have to be really cautious with making your asexual character an other, because it implies subtly that asexuals are freaks, aliens, or in some way not actual real humans. And that's not true. 7. They're repressed, or they're a really strong, dominant female character. Again, that's not being asexual. That's sort of making choices in your life. Just because your female character is strong and maybe intimidates a lot of the men in the story doesn't mean that she never wants to ever have sex with any of them. So those are my reasons that your character should not be asexual. If your character is any of those things, reconsider. You might be classifying them wrong, they might just be celibate. Things that you can still have in your story with an asexual character. You can still have a love story. Did you know that asexual does not mean aromantic? Yeah, that's right, they're two separate things. Asexual people can still be in romantic relationships, they just don't feel sexual attraction towards their partner or anyone. So you can still totally have a love story and even a sex scene, because people who are asexual sometimes feel comfortable having sex for their partner. But if you're going to write this kind of thing, really do your research and be careful how you do it. Because this is really thorny territory, especially if you don't know a lot about asexuality. Asexual people can experience a myriad of other types of attraction towards people, such as platonic attraction, intellectual attraction, aesthetic attraction, etc. So do a little research. Asexual people can experience orgasms, and asexual people can still be in a romantic relationship, if you gotta have one in your story. Now, if you have decided that you want an asexual character in your story, or even better, you're writing along and you think one of your characters might be ace, remember to write your asexual character in such a way that it's obvious that that's how the story needs to be, not just because you're trying to fill some sort of political correctness quota. Also, please, please, please refrain from writing a story that has an asexual character that is simply there to be cured. Remember, saying that someone who has asexuality needs to be cured or needs to find the right one is literally the same as telling a gay man that they just have to have sex with women until they're, done being gay. If you're interested in asexual characters that I have written, one of them can be found in my fanfiction, Freedom Bound, which is a Dragon Age 2 fanfiction, and also its sequel, Chance Encounter. The main character, Ava, is also asexual. Also, there is at least one, possibly two, coming up in my book, Diary of a Demon, if I ever get off my butt and edit and self-publish it. That will happen eventually, I'm sure. In the meantime, happy writing, and if you have any more questions for me about writing an asexual character, please leave them in the comments. I will definitely read them and try to answer your questions as best I can. Please don't be an ass. I appreciate it. See you next time.